Hello everyone, it's Rob here. I'm going to start off my series of whisky reviews with a review of this, the 10-year-old Edradour Scotch single malt from Edradour Distillery in the Eastern Highlands of Scotland. 10-year-old single malt, bottled at 40%, no artificial colour. This is very good. It is an artisan product. It is a handmade whisky. Edradour Distillery claims to be the smallest in Scotland. Certainly it's the smallest established distillery in Scotland. I think it's pretty good. Owned by Signatory Vintage, the independent bottlers. I poured myself a glass just a moment ago. I've been letting it breathe for a second. The first thing you'll notice is the colour. This, as I've said, is natural colour. It's a wonderful Lion's Golden Syrup colour. For a 10-year-old, this is a very deep, very encouraging natural colour. It indicates good casks and good cask involvement. This is a well looked after product. Okay, we'll go in with the nose. And immediately I'm getting the Oloroso sweet sherry, the oak caramel, a little bit of candied orange peel, or certainly orange zest maybe. Getting fudge, starts off as fudge, and when you go in deeper you get a Belgian chocolate, a very cocoa rich chocolate, but not a dark bitter chocolate. It's a soft cocoa rich chocolate. As I say, this is a wonderfully complex nose for a 10-year-old. I just can't stop sniffing at it. This malt, it seems, divides people, looking at what people say about it online. I really like it. I think there's an awful lot going on here, and I think it's fantastic value. I think it's one to add to the collection. Maybe not for absolute beginners. It's not a floral Speyside, but certainly there's a lot to go at with this. You won't feel like you've bought something neutral if you go for this. Yeah, more cocoa on the nose beginning to develop. Now it's lovely on the palate. It's sweet and peppery, but it still has an alcohol bite. It's a gentle reminder that this is a 10-year-old whisky and not the 15-year-old that you might have been experiencing on the nose. A slightly dry finish, more of the oak and wood smoke coming in on the finish, but it's wonderfully fruity. Dried fruit, Oloroso sherry. There's a lot going on the nose, there's a lot going on the palate. If you look at the packaging here, there's been a real move to ridiculous levels of marketing in Scotch whisky. This thing, it really does look like a tin of fudge that you might have bought in the mid-90s on the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. It's very clear that this is an artisan product with not a lot of marketing behind it, and that is good. That attracts me to it. I really like this. The price is absolutely cracking. I paid 88 Canadian dollars for it, plus taxes, which brought it up nearer the $100. But Canada is expensive for Scotch single malts. I've actually seen it for sale in the UK at an online retailer for 35 quid. For a 10-year-old that behaves more like a 15-year-old. Unique flavours, big flavours, and luxurious flavours for the price. I think it's fantastic. As I say, it's perhaps not one for beginners, mainly for the reason that, okay, some of the flavours here are approachable, you know, fudge, chocolate, sweet type flavours. It's not a punchy Islay malt. But this doesn't drink like your typical Scotch single malt, your typical Highland, if there were such a thing. It's more like a sipping rum. It really does behave like a different drink, and it is just unique. I think everybody owes it to themselves to go out and at least try this. It's a real good indication also for the beginner. As I've said, it's perhaps not for the absolute beginner, but for the relative beginner, it gives a good indication of what good cask involvement can do for a whisky. Because, as I say, this is only a 10-year-old, but you're getting a lot of that sherry notes, you're getting a lot of those sherry notes, you're getting a lot of the European oak. It really does indicate how much a good cask can do in a short length of time, and the notes that you should be looking out for that indicate really good cask involvement. So yes, this absolutely gets my vote. Once I've finished this bottle, I will probably buy a new one. I will be looking around for other bottlings from Edradour. They have the 10-year-old, which is like the mainstay, and then they have an absolutely huge range of others that they do in short runs, with things like one finished in a Chateau Neuf de Pape cask, which was like Barbie pink on the label, and this Barbie pink like shipping container size box. Bit strange. That sold out in Canada. I didn't manage to get my hands on a bottle of that before it sold out. But yeah, I'll certainly keep my eyes open for this distillery. I think they do an awful lot right. Okay, thanks very much for bearing with me. I know this is a malt that divides people, so please let me know your views on it if you tried it. Leave a comment, subscribe. As I say, I'm at the very start of my YouTube experience, so any feedback is most welcome. Cheers everyone, to good health.